Hi everyone and welcome to my backyard.
This video is going to be extra special because I'm doing it in collaboration with a vintage vegetarian. He makes the best vegetarian fast food reviews and challenges, as well as other vegetarian related content. And as a bonus, we sometimes get a visit from his lovely wife.
Today I'm making a traditional Portuguese soup called Caldo Verde. We can translate it as green broth, although it's not quite a broth and it's actually only partially green. The star of this soup is actually right behind me, as you may guess. It's collard greens. We'll pick some fresh leaves in a second, but first let me show you the other ingredients I'm using. So we have homegrown potatoes, onions and garlic. I'm showing you my cat because he keeps distracting me. Okay, let's get some collard greens and I'll meet you back in my kitchen.
I'll start by peeling 4 potatoes, and while I do that, let me show you what the vintage vegetarian is cooking for us.
This collaboration is about soups too. As we get close to winter here in the States, it's getting kind of cold. Unfortunately, the garden can't provide everything I need for a soup right now, so I had to cheat. I stopped at the store, picked up a few ingredients that I'm going to need for this collaboration. So what's going to happen is I'm going to make a soup that's kind of American. Sophia's going to make a soup that is Portuguese.
That sounds delicious. I'm excited to see how the soup turns out. Next, peel 1 onion and 2 garlic cloves. Cut the potatoes and onion into big chunks. Add everything to a pan and cover with water. At this point, you should add half a vegetarian chorizo, like the one I'm showing you, but I forgot and that's okay. We'll add it later. Season with salt and add about a tablespoon of olive oil. This olive oil is also homemade, so the only thing I bought for this soup was the vegetarian chorizo. Well, and the salt. Let it simmer until the veggies are soft. While it cooks, we'll prepare the collard greens. Wash them thoroughly and remove the stem. Then layer them on top of each other and roll them like a healthy cigar. And slice them as thinly as possible. And this is how they look. Once the veggies are cooked, puree the soup with a stick blender. If, unlike me, you remember to add the chorizo, carefully remove it before you puree the soup. Then, add the collard greens and let them cook until tender, mixing occasionally. Since it is never too late for vegetarian chorizo, I'm adding mine now. While the Caldo Verde cooks, let's go back to the vintage vegetarian kitchen for a sneak peek of the vegetarian American soup he's cooking.
The idea is to get the color, and with color comes flavor. I just want to deglaze that, get that flavor coating off the bottom of the pan and back into the food. Now, while all those ingredients are getting to know each other real well, I'm going to go ahead and start the tofu. This is the meat part of the vegetarian meat and potato soup. So I want this tofu to be really firm. We prefer a creamy soup, so this is where I add the 1 or 2 cups of milk, depending on the creaminess factor you want.
That sounds delicious. Can't wait to see how it turns out. But first, let's remove the chorizo from the pan and cut it into slices. Serve the Caldo Verde and add some chorizo slices and a drizzle of olive oil. I'm not a food critic like the vintage vegetarian, so I can only say it's delicious. And you know what else looks delicious? The vintage vegetarian soup. So let's go back to their kitchen and check it out.
Our beautiful, all-American, vegetarian meat and potatoes creamy soup. It smells really good right now. American vegetarian soup. This is a hearty soup. It's meat and potatoes, vegetarian style. Enjoy.
It looks absolutely delicious, and Thomas is just precious. I'll link his video in the description box below and at the end of this video. Please check out the vintage vegetarian video, you won't regret it. And you know what else you won't regret? Clicking on these videos for more vegetarian food and subscribing to our channels. I'm pretty sure you won't regret that. Okay, thanks for watching until the end, that's cool of you, see you next time.